Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news. It is important to remember that the life can easily change. You do not know when it may happen. And for Chantel Everett, it happened one evening, but it appeared like any other evening. The sun was setting, and the golden color of the light unintentionally fell on the empty road as Chantel was driving. The only sounds were the whispering of the engine from her car and a song from a radio in the background. But in one moment, happiness turned into a nightmare for her inside of a car. Two glaring headlights moved over onto her side of the road. The sound of screeching tires and breaking glass interrupted the quiet calm of the evening. The dreadful metallic banging did not help. Then silence. Chantel's world went dark. It was total confusion at any point in the hospital. Chantel had to be taken to operating theater as surgeons tried to stabilize her condition. Her family sat in the waiting area, and anxiety suffocated the air like smog. Karen was walking nervously. She was never like that, and the reason for that was she was afraid. Thomas sat unmoving, his fists tight, in what can only be described as an attempt to bear it. Winter tried to occupy her mind with her phone itself, while River got up and stood by the window. He looked calm enough, but inside him was boiling mad. And then Pedro arrived like a storm onto an already troubled situation. He entered silently carrying a white lilies flower and the look of a guilty man on his face. A narrow glare from Karen made him stop in his tracks, and River's face turned more serious as well. Lying there in the hospital bed, Chantel tried to recall what had happened. She saw the lights, tires squealing before the terrible crash. In the silence of her mind, she revisited fragments of her past, short, happy moments with the family, her passion for Pedro, and the development of cracks on her relationships. Pedro perches himself at a table in the hospital cafeteria, twisted around his right hand a ring, which was once a wedding ring. His mind was flooded with remorse. All the quarrels, all the scolding, all the moments the man regretted. Fed up, Karen had to ask Thomas why it had to happen now. While speaking to Thomas, Karen could not help fuming. Why does he come at the time that is considered inappropriate? Despite this, relations calmed down even when Chantel was opening her eyes. Karen came to her side immediately, her hands shaking as they gripped her daughter's. Winter and River entered quickly, and it looked like burden was lifted off them. Finally, the same loudman called out, "Hola!" and Pedro stopped at the door, wondering whether he was wanted. And then Chantel saw him, and her lips curved in a babyish weak smile, which was definitely not hinting at vengeance. All in all, Chantel's recovery process started and was a fighting spirit of the spirit and stout-heartedness. Every time they offered her therapy, she was challenged, but she didn't give up. Pedro stayed right by her side, helping her out all through the entertainment process. Even though Winter's messages made her days less awful, River's songs helped pass the nights when she couldn't fall asleep. Though, the road to recovery belonged to Chantel. Her family was forced to face similar issues to those of resentment and bitterness. Pedro and River refused to sit calmly and had many rows that reminded everyone of numerous problems that they had for years. As always, Karen was the rock of the family and began to assert the family's need to pull through for Chantel to bounce back to health. The change occurred during a planned dinner in Chantel's hospital bed. They used balloons and flowers to decorate the space, and then Pedro arrived with a cake that made Winter laughingly remark, "Please tell me you didn't get this from a gas station?" People laughed. The walls of anguish and bitterness disappear. It was a glad day when Chantel was moved out of the hospital. The sun rose and shone out for her and family when leaving the hospital. They were together, as have never been before. The accident isn't just in Chantel's dictionary a tragedy, it is a message of love and forgiveness in life. As she looked at her family, Chantel appreciated that was the start of something new. Together they would overcome whatever was to come. The stability which they derived came from their love for each other. It was autonomy foreboding the Everetts, but it was autonomy bristling with hope and tenacity of life and a brand new beginning. This gossip is over. If you like the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.